G'day, I'm Jacob, and in this video I'm talking about how I dragged myself out of a financial black hole. This is a story you are not going to want to miss. So hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all of my videos and join me after this. Although I talk about personal anecdotes in most of my blogs, this video blog is a really personal story. So in the middle of 2014, when I transitioned from full-time employment to full-time self-employment, I did so without a plan and also without much savings. And as we went through 2014, the year just continued to become more dismal and more depressing. The number of expenses going out were constant, and often some of those expenses were quite big. But the income that was coming in was so low it might as well have been non-existent. When 2015 began, I was really optimistic about what was going to happen and what was in store for us. But the worst was still to come. And as 2015 went on, things progressed and things started to change. Two major events happened for me in 2015. The first one was I was having a website built, and that website was launched in the middle of that year, so June 2015. The awesome people at Dash Media were allowing me to pay that website off, which is the one that you're watching this blog on if you go back to my website at jacobandre.com. And they used to send out an email as I was paying it off. And in that email, that automated email, as the money paid off that website, it would tell me how much I'd paid and how much was left. And it actually did a lot to change my mindset, because I thought, geez, if I put this money onto my credit card each week or each fortnight or whatever, then I would have that credit card paid off come Christmas time. The second one was that my grandmother passed away. It was a really sad time. But there was one lesson that I learned from her, and she was probably the most influential person in my life, slightly ahead of my mother, and it was my mother's mother. She told me that you should always have a contingency plan, so a financial safety net. She said to me, Jacob, put away a certain amount of money and consider that your 0 point. Consider whatever amount that money is as where your baseline is. So if you've got $1,000 in the bank and your $1,000 is your float, then anything on top of that is your money. So for example, if you've got $1,500 in the bank, and $1,000 is your financial safety net or your 0 point, then you've actually got $500. And this was something that I'd tried to do previously, but it never really happened. I never really had a purpose for doing it. And it wasn't until she passed away and the financial difficulties that I got into that I really did something about it. So there were 4 things I did to drag myself out of a financial hole. And the first one was to create a plan. With a plan, you can achieve anything. So what I did was worked out how much I could afford to put away each week, and then how much I wanted to actually put away in total. And I just worked out how long it would take me to get there, how many weeks it would take me by putting away a certain amount of money each week to get to my target. With that plan, you can achieve anything. So be optimistic, because you can probably save more than what you think you can. Number 2 is to create a contingency plan. So work out how much you want to put in the bank as your float. It might be $100, $1,000, $10,000, whatever it is for you. Work out what that is, and using a plan, do the same thing. It's just like sailing towards an island. In the beginning, the island seems very distant and far off. But as you continually sail towards that island, you get closer and closer as the island gets bigger and bigger until you can actually step off onto the island. I guarantee you, if you just keep working towards it with that contingency money goal in mind, you will get there. Number 3 is be consistent and persistent. So even the best thought out plans are useless if you are not consistent with your goal and doing something on a consistent basis every single week or every fortnight or every month, and persistent. You must be persistent. So you must continue with that goal even in times of adversity and difficulty. And the last one, number 4, is to prioritize. Prioritize your savings like you would if you had a loan. So if you've got a loan, you need to pay that when you've got the bills coming in. So make sure that you prioritize your savings, because at the end of the day, your financial security and that of your family is just as important as paying off a home loan or a car loan or whatever other loan that you've got. So in summary, wherever you are right now financially, rest assured that you can achieve whatever your financial goals are with a plan. Create a plan and be consistent and persistent at working towards that. I guarantee you, it might feel hard in the beginning, but as you progress through it, there'll be a point when you look back over your shoulder and realise, wow, I've come so far. And make sure that you do reflect on that. Look back often and occasionally, because it will be really, really important and really powerful when you do look back. And now it's over to you. What have you learned from financial adversity? As always, the best conversations happen back at the website at jacobandre.com. Head on over there to leave your answer to that question and any other comments you've got about this topic. Did you like this video? Then please subscribe and share it with your friends. And for great resources, tips and advice that I only share through email, head on over to my website at jacobandre.com and sign up for email updates. Thanks for joining me in this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.